Anyone's wearing purple hooded pants? Which mic should I use? The middle one. Oh. Yay! Woo! Who did that? Somebody here did that. Hello, everybody. FYI, I gave up on the booger thing. You say aw, but none of you guys would give me your boogers. So, it was a thing. Some people did, but there wasn't enough. I couldn't. I'm trying to produce my own. It's not really working. Okay. Hi. It's 5:30, so I'm going to start. Somebody's old water is here. I don't know who it is. My name is Sheh, and this is my Q&A panel. Do we have a mic set up or a wireless mic or anything like that? We do. It's right over there. I see it. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to give a little brief introduction about myself so you kind of get to know like what kind of questions to ask if you want to ask. But is anyone here kind of dressed in a businessy, fancy way? No. Okay, good. Because I was going to send you to the water balloon fight. But if you know, right now, before we start, if you know any of your friends here who are cosplaying that look like they could be like a business person, like if they have a suit jacket or a nice skirt or whatever, will you text them right now and tell them to go to the Sky Bridge? You actually look really, yeah, you look great. You look great. You should go to the water balloon fight. It's gonna be, when that video is done, it's gonna be epic. They're shooting it, but they're gonna do it slow-mo and put opera music to it. You are gonna regret that you missed out. Last year when I did the scavenger hunt, I was at AFO, and I, in opening ceremonies, announced my hotel room. And I said, come to this is my hotel. I don't remember what the room was. I was like, 1305 or something. Come to my hotel room, 1305 for a pillow fight on Saturday night at 10 p.m. And then people were like, what? And then there was like 5 or 6 people that showed up. And I needed 20. And so they called their friends and everyone was like, oh my God, no, it's really happening. And we got like maybe like 30 people. And then we shot a video and everybody was like, because it was a bunch of people like, oh, hey, like they weren't like, people also didn't know each other. So people just kept coming, you know, and it was like, oh, and then people made friends that night. It was really cool. They were like, whoa, we were part of the pillow fight. And then the next morning, all those people were like, dang, that was real? They were like so upset that they missed out. So I'm just saying, at 6:15, you should head over there. All right, it's only 5:30 right now, but think about it. Okay, so my name is Sheh. I am a Los Angeles-based voice actress. I also do some voice directing and some ADR script writing and some producing and some casting. I'm probably most well known for shows like Naruto. I voice Hinata in Naruto, and thank you. I voice Orihime in Bleach and Eureka in Eureka 7, and a bunch of other stuff. But most recently, I've been cast as Usagi, aka Sailor Moon, in Viz Media's redub of the original Sailor Moon show. So that has been a lot of fun. Some other projects that I work on is I've directed several Resident Evil games, and I voice Rebecca Chambers in that franchise currently, and I am Sheh Bear in Care Bears on the Hub, and I voice Zhu Li in Korra, or The Legend of Korra. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I'm probably forgetting right now. Oh, and Gundam Unicorn, that's huge. And so I do a lot of different things. So you can ask me about production work, you can ask me about voice acting, you can ask me about other interests. In terms of Gundam Unicorn, if people are following that or like Gundam, the thing that's interesting about that, the studio that I work with, we do a simultaneous release, which means that when the Blu-ray comes out in Japan, it is also in English. the same date. So there's no waiting a year, there's no waiting a couple months, there's not even waiting a day. It's literally the same exact day. That Blu-ray has English language on it as well as Japanese language on it, both subtitled and audio. And we work very, very hard, and that's a whole other experience because we have to work very fast, and we get no sleep, and sometimes the animation is not finished, so if the sync is not perfect, the mouth, matching the mouth is not perfect, it's not really our fault, because sometimes they give us not completed animation, and we have to guess what the animation's gonna look like. Like, we're literally lining up the waveform of, as you could see, the waveform of the audio file in Japanese, and then we're looking at the waveform in English, and we're trying to kind of match the length and the pauses and whatnot. So I'm just gonna open it up to questions. If you guys can make a line behind the mic where that guy is passing, the guy was just nodded, and now he's sitting down. I guess he doesn't have a question. All right, and then we'll just start until we run out of time. But I might take a break at 6:15 to convince the nice young lady in the front row to go to be in a water balloon fight. What if I paid you? But that would be unfair to all the other people. Then everybody else would be like, I didn't get paid. Come here. Well, no, it's indoors, and there's and there's it's gonna be like 10 people. So, all right, you, sir. Yep.
My name's Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Me before.
Yeah.
Among the many different voices you portrayed, which one would you consider to be your favorite?
Oh, I always get this question. Do you guys know what my answer is? Yeah, it's that I have none. Well, I like to have none, but then also it's like that I have them all, or I don't have a favorite. It always changes because it changes. Really, no. What I say is, I have my favorite, but the characters, you create these characters, and they're like your children, and I do have my favorite, but I would never tell you which one it was.
Okay.
No, but the true answer is that I don't really have a favorite. It like changes,
Oh.
One day this is my favorite, next day this one's my favorite, and then a new show comes along, and that's my favorite for a while, so I don't really have a favorite.
Okay, just one more question.
Uh-huh.
Are you a Hinata Naruto shipper?
Yeah. I don't understand. I mean, why wouldn't I be?
Good to know.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi. Oh, the mic is low for you.
Oh, hang on a second.
All right.
I don't feel like adjusting. I'm Brandon.
Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
How you doing? I just had a question about the Sailor Moon redub. How were you approached for the role of Usagi? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, so when I auditioned for it, I auditioned for all of the girls, and I listened to it in Japanese a little bit, like some clips and stuff, because I actually didn't watch Sailor Moon growing up. I knew of the show, and a lot of my friends, I feel like I was like in between the age, like I was a little bit too old to have like really grown up watching as a kid, but then I was like young enough that I like was, kind of knew about it, so I didn't really completely follow it. I knew of it, so I looked up clips and I listened to the girls, and I was like, oh, I can kind of tell the attitudes, but the voices kind of sound really similar to me. And then I listened to some of the English dub, and then I listened to Usagi, and then I read up about it, and I was like, oh, well, there's 3 different voice actresses that have voiced Usagi before. And then I listened to those clips, and I was like, oh, those 3 girls sound not the same at all, So then I felt like, well, I'm just gonna do my own take based on her personality and the animation and the original Japanese, and so that's kind of what I've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And
It's on.
my name is Malcolm, and it is an honor to actually meet you in person, actually.
Thank you, Malcolm.
So I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One's actually pretty basic, and
Okay.
the other one's just a little character related question.
Oh,
the
okay.
first one is, what do you find easier to voice act in? Like, you voice act in a lot of anime and video games, but which is easier, anime or video games?
That's really tricky. I think it depends on the role and it depends on the voice type. Here's the thing about video games. Anime is usually done pretty much the same at all the studios. There's not that much variation, at least in LA. Like if you go to one studio versus the other studio, you pretty much the process is the same. With video games, that's not the case. Sometimes you go in for video games and you have to do ADR. It means it's already animated and you have to match the picture. And other times there's no animation, there's not even a picture. That's why I feel bad sometimes, like people come through the autograph line and they have like books and covers of games and ask me to sign it, and I don't recognize them at all because on some of those games I'm acting but I don't even ever see an image, so then it's harder to remember that game, and some of the games they keep the name private, so it's just a string, like a code that's like, top secret because they don't want people to talk about it. So sometimes when you do video games, it's really vocally challenging because it's all this like all the grunting and stuff like that, and the yelling, and a lot of yelling is difficult. But then sometimes you do anime and it's a lot of yelling too. So for the most part, though, the like goofy, like yelly, like the Usagi type yelling is not that stressful. It's more of the like fighting, grunting, like when you have to put a lot of texture in your voice, that's more stressful. So it really depends on more the character than anime versus video games.
All right. And my second question is, you said you had a lot of roles and you didn't remember, but do you remember a role in Lucky Star?
Yeah, Akira?
Yeah, Akira Kogumi. I just wanted your opinion. Like, what was it like voicing that character?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of my favorite things to do is voice characters that seem like have split personalities. I've done a few of them, Akira being one of them. She's very hyper and like, hi, Luckies, and really sweet and cute. And then she flips a switch when no one is watching, and she's like, yeah, go F yourself. Well, she would never say that on Lucky Channel. But, and then, or Hare and Goo, like there was like really sweet goo, and then there was really dry goo. And so I love doing characters that have like multiple voices. Like Penny was also a character in Zatch Bell that was the same thing. She was like, I love you, Zatch, and I hate you. It was like that. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Maurice, and
Maurice.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Okay. First off, first I want to let you know that I've been a fan of Naruto for a long time, and Hinata was one of the few Genin that did annoy the crap out of me. There was Sakura, and Hinata. And between the 3 of them,
She was the least annoying to you?
Yeah, I like
very sweet.
Hinata out of the 3 of them. But right now, Naruto, the show is going on so
It's a long time.
long. And at this point, it seems like it's a little bit.
Do you feel like it's dragging?
In a way.
Okay.
But do you feel as though it's taking a certain period of time that should be shortened? What do you think?
Oh, do you mean, do I think it should end?
Yes.
I think it's hard to say because I don't watch the show. Like, I get called in when Hinata has lines and whatnot. And sometimes lots of times the storylines has nothing to do with her. And then she just comes in and she's just like reacting and, oh no, and then healing somebody. And as an actor, I don't know what's going on because I only see my lines. So it's really hard to judge. I've had friends that said that they feel like it should be over, but I don't know. I mean, it all depends. I feel like I'm not informed enough to make that decision. What do you guys think? Do you think it's getting boring? No, they don't want it to end. Is it, you just have to wait out the filler episodes?
Yeah, there was a lot of filler.
Yeah.
And my second question is, I know that you said that you didn't have a favorite voice to do, but I I do have a question about as far as characters go
Uh-huh.
in the Naruto series. Do you happen to have a favorite character besides Hinata?
Oh, I really like.
Pre-Shippuden.
Yeah. I like. I can never get the accent right on his name. Konohamaru. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my favorite character. He cracks me up.
Oh, really? Okay.
I find him hysterical.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks. Hello. Oh.
Hi.
Tilt it down. There you go.
Yeah. So I know that you didn't watch Sailor Moon growing up or anything.
No.
But you pretty much know that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I knew that.
Are you nervous taking over that role? Are you afraid that somebody like me who's watching it since I was 9 is gonna be like, this lady sucks? Or are you does that bother you?
You know what? It's really funny. So we started recording in April. And we started recording a little bit right after my birthday. And I was out of town in Hawaii for my birthday. And I came back and we started recording Sailor Moon. And Michelle, who voices Luna, who's good friends of mine, she said, hey, Stephanie, I didn't get to take you out for your birthday, so I want to take you to dinner and to my new favorite restaurant. I said, okay, great. So she came by and she would pick me up, and I got in the car, and we both knew that the other person had been cast, right? But we hadn't talked about it yet. And the first thing she turns to me, she looks at me and she says, so, you ready for the haters? And I was like, oh, darn it, I didn't even, yeah, you're probably right. Oh, this is gonna suck, And I guess in the beginning I didn't think about that. I just oh, it's so cool to be on, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be really scrutinized and judged harshly. So I was very, very nervous. But so far, people's reactions have been really positive. We premiered a few episodes at Anime Expo, and everyone's been really positive about that. And then Viz released a few of the clips from the dub, and the feedback has been fairly positive. There are a few people who don't like it. And I think that when they said that they don't like it because they feel like it's not like the original one that they grew up with, or they feel like it's not enough like the Japanese one. But most people who don't like it because it's not the original. It doesn't sound like the original one. But I mean, as I said before, it's when I did my research, it was 3 different women played that role, and they don't sound similar. So I don't really know how they expected me to be 3 different people, So I figure that they were just upset because they have a sound in their head and they like that version. And you know what? We're not trying to really replace that version in a way. That version still exists, This is just a different version for people who want an unedited version and one that's a little bit closer to the Japanese.
Yeah, people can get really mad when you mess with the nostalgia goggles.
It's really weird because I find we're between a rock and a hard place. There's this whole big drama regarding her dango, the hair thing, right?
Yeah.
So Mamoru calls her dango head, right?
Yeah.
But we don't eat dango here. We don't know what it is. And so in the original dub, it was meatball head. And so they changed it to bunhead in our dub, which is a little bit closer to dango than meatball head was, and people were flipping out, really mad that it wasn't meatball head. But then I feel had we left it meatball head, the people who like the Japanese version, closer to the Japanese, would be they're just blah, 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 So,
I have a follow-up question. It kind of goes with the people hating on the fandom's very torn with the whole Sailor Moon Crystal that's coming out because it's not the '90s version. It's not their nostalgia. And I feel like you kind of respect that role of Usagi, if they ever like approached you to do a dub for Sailor Moon Crystal, would you? Would you keep the role?
Oh yeah, I would for sure. I think. Yeah. I mean, I feel like our redub of the original show has a different, like, there's a different style and a feel to it. Like, we're trying to make it a little, even though the show is very, love and moonlight, and there is that aspect of silliness to it, we're trying to make it a little bit more grounded and a little bit more real. And I think that when the show was originally dubbed, it was more kitschy, and so they went that way with the style. And I feel like Crystal, I saw a little bit of the first episode in Japanese. I feel like it's less kidsy, and it's a little bit more serious, even though it's the same characters, same storyline. And so I feel like it matches and is in tune with like what we're trying to do with the redub. So
thank you so much for your time. I think you're going to be amazing. I look forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Jacob. My name's Jacob.
Hi.
And in your career as a voice actor, has there ever been, whether more recent or when you were first starting voice acting, any voice role that you kind of think, maybe I shouldn't have done that? A voice acting role that you regretted in some possible way?
Yeah. It's weird because it's like, it's a job, and I'm very fortunate to be able to make a living doing voiceover, but one of the reasons. Thank you! Sorry, you guys, I've been yawning up here, and it's not because you're boring me, it's because I had half an hour of sleep because I was painting with ketchup on my bathroom floor and making an angel out of tampons and maxi pads. So that's why I'm very exhausted. But back to the question, which was, any roles I regret. So I mean, you take the job because you take it. But I think that sometimes you don't really have a choice, and you get into a situation and you're like, oh, I'm not really enjoying this as much, or oh, this project wasn't really what, because like on the one hand you need the money and you want to take the job, but on the other hand you don't want to be in something that's crappy. Do you know what I mean? But how are you supposed to know what's crappy? You don't always know. So yes, there have been some of those. Not so much. I don't think it's a regret of taking the job as it is that you feel bad that the project wasn't better. You know what I mean?
I understand. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, my name's Ozzy. My first question is, who's your favorite Sailor Scout and why? And
you know what? I don't know all of the scouts because I don't really know. Okay, the ones that I do know that I've seen are. What do people? Oh my God, my face is up there, and it's huge, and I didn't put on any makeup. Oh my God, my hair is a mess. Oh, you look like you're like. The lighting is so different. You look like, wow. Like the yellow on your shirt, it looks like you're like a jogging outfit, like you're competing. Oh my God, my hair is really messed up. I'm so distracted by myself. I'm like a cat. So the scouts that I'm familiar with is there's Ami, that I know. There's Ray and Jupiter. Those are the ones that I'm familiar with, and Usagi, obviously. The ones that I haven't seen would be Neptune, Uranus, Saturn. So can you tell me what their personalities are, and then maybe I'd pick one?
Because honestly, I only watched the first 20 episodes of Sailor Moon, and it was like 2 years ago.
So you know the same ones that I know?
Yeah.
So which one's your favorite?
Probably Usagi, because those are the only ones I remember. I was trying to get into it with the redub you guys are doing. I was going to watch that.
Yeah, no, you should. I mean, I think Usagi's my favorite because I think she cracks me up and she's really funny. And also she just like, could you imagine if you had a friend like Usagi? Like she would never allow you to be sad. You know what I mean? She'd always be there for you. She'd probably screw things up even though she's trying to help, but she'd always, like, her spirit is in the right place. Although I just was introduced to Jupiter, and Makoto seems pretty cool. Like, she seems pretty hip and cool, so I don't know. Hopefully that's a good enough answer.
And my follow-up question is...
Everyone has a follow-up. Go ahead, hit me. It's like one person was like, I got 2 questions, and everyone's like, oh, I got to get 2 questions. What's my second question? Go ahead, kidding.
In the past year, like, what's your favorite anime to watch? Like, you enjoyed the most, or like, have you been too busy that you haven't really enjoyed? Like...
I've been so busy that I haven't really enjoyed watching anime. Although, that said, I did audition for Attack on Titan. I was not cast, but I watched the first 6 episodes, and I really liked it. I was like really into it. And if I had more time, I would probably watch more of it. But I understand that it's a very long series. And there's this guy in my acting class named Josh, and he's into anime. So he came up to me and he goes, Zari Stephanie, tell me, what anime should I watch? I want to watch some new anime. Like, so I said to him, well, I heard Attack on Titan's pretty cool. So he's like, okay. And then next week, because it's a weekly class, next week comes out, he's like, dude, Attack on Titan's the shit. Oh my God. It's like, fucking blowing my mind. Holy crap. Oh my God. And then the next week he was like, dude, I'm just gonna marathon that shit. I just like watched like tons of episodes. Then the next week's like, dude, I can't do it. Can't do it anymore, man. I can't do it. And he was like, oh, it's like all the crying. And he's like, oh, it's like, why do you keep crying? I have no idea what he's talking about. Because clearly he's like I've only watched 6 episodes, but I was like, oh, so maybe it gets annoying after a while. I have no idea.
Thank you. It was really a pleasure to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too.
Hi.
Hello, what's your name?
Ishmael.
Hi, Ishmael.
First, it's a pleasure to meet you. I wanted to congratulate you on getting Usagi.
Thank you.
And as someone who's watched all 200 episodes of Sailor Moon, I think the clips I've heard so far anyways, I think you're doing great, as evidenced by my reaction to Purple Pleated Pants. I was laughing my ass off when I first
Even though that was totally added. Like, you didn't mind that? I was worried.
I did not mind that, no.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much in tone with what kind of reaction to...
She would have,
having.
yeah.
I only have one question.
Oh, okay.
and it is a request.
I don't know if I can do it if it's like a call out or something.
No.
Oh.
It's can you do the Moon Prism Power call out?
I don't know if I can.
Oh, is
it on there? Is it on one of the clips that they released?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It's on the Hulu clip? All right, I guess I'll do it.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, don't tape it,
Don't tape it, okay.
Don't tape it, because I don't really know if I'm officially allowed to, and then you'll get me in trouble.
Sure, okay.
And I'm really afraid.
Okay.
Well,
no, I'm turning it off.
Okay, don't tape, don't.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm loving your work with it, and I think you're doing great as someone who's seen all of it. I think you're doing great.
Oh, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
In the Japanese, as the show gets darker, does Usagi's voice change? Does it get deeper? Does it change, or does it kind of stay the same?
My opinion is, although she has like her vocal style, she matures. Like near the end of the 2nd season, for example, she has a line at one point, something along the lines of, at one time I would be like, no, I don't want to do it, and so on, and she's kind of imitating how she used to cry about stuff, and she's like, but right now I just kind of need to do this. And I thought that was so awesome. One thing you may hit up eventually is when you're playing her future self, just kind of like a more regal voice kind of thing. But you'll see it.
All right, so she does change, her voice does change then.
The character matures, the character definitely matures.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, hi. This is my first time to meet you. My name is Daniel Madison.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. I'd like to say congratulations for Naruto and Shippuden, for Hiata, Sheh to proud herself.
Yeah.
And I'd like to try to do 2 questions.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The first question. Do you been to university for college before you? No, after you become a voice actor, do you come college?
I went to college first. I went to UCLA. Go Bruins! No? USC's over there. Although I didn't go to a single sporting event when I was at UCLA at all. Not even like a rec center game. And all of my roommates were refs, actually. It's fun. If you've ever watched sports with a bunch of refs, it's hilarious. It's a totally different experience because usually you watch sports with friends and they're rooting for teams, and the refs, if you watch sports with refs, they it's like, oh, it's a terrible call, or oh, they're like just watching the refs. It's very weird. Whoa, why is there all these people coming in? Hi, sit down. I feel like they're not in here for me, that they're coming in for the next thing that's in here. But you should all, now I'm trying to look for who's dressed in business attire, so they should go have a water balloon fight. So yes, I did go to college, but I didn't go for acting. I went for communication studies, which is why I've done some production work and writing and directing and stuff.
Well, that's good. So that's very good. So I get a second question for your show. It's called Sheh Moon Crystals. I did not catch up for it, but I watched it really way back once.
Yeah.
Which one you fight Sailor Mars a lot?
Oh, we argue a lot, right?
Yes, argue a lot.
Well, she's mean to me. She's really mean. I think she goes out of her way to be mean.
So how do you sell this score for her to fight back for her? That's all I'm saying.
How do I fight back against Mars?
Yes.
I think the truth of the matter is they don't really hate each other. They like each other, but I think they're jealous of each other, which is why they butt heads.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. My name's Davin.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. I know you've done a lot of work on Eureka 7. It also happens to be my girlfriend's favorite anime.
Where's your girlfriend?
She's cosplaying.
Oh.
Yeah. She started to get me into it. I got 2 episodes in, and for whatever reason, I just wasn't able to finish it. Very interested in it.
Eureka 7, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, because the beginning of Eureka 7 is really kidsy. The first, I would say 7 or 8 episodes, it's really kind of, I don't know, it's a different show. It feels like it's for little kids.
I have heard it's steeped in Buddhism, and I think that's really cool. So I was figuring, I could ask you. What do you know? What do you think the show offers? If you could explain it to me a little bit. I mean, I'm already going to watch it.
That's hard. I don't know.
What do you think the show offers?
I mean, for me, the stuff that's interesting is about the depth of the characters. That the characters are not what you seem, and you learn more and more as the show goes on. And also Eureka and Renton's relationship. But I can't answer that question on that show in terms of thematic things. I've never heard anything about the Buddhism angle, which is interesting because my mother's a Buddhist and I like Buddhism.
I guess I heard wrong.
So, wait, you heard wrong about, no, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true. It might totally be an allegory for Buddhism. It's just that if it is, it went over my head. You know what I mean? And which might also be the case because with Eureka 7, I didn't sit down and watch it all the way through after I completed it. I just saw when I was recording it. So there'll be scenes that I'm not in and that I'll just totally miss. Or maybe the character's drawn in, but I'm not talking, so then I don't see it. It's a funny story, but in Naruto, you guys know Yuri Lowenthal? He voiced Sasuke. And when Naruto first came out, their feedback on the dub, people were commenting, and everybody was like, oh my god, I love Sasuke. Sasuke sounds so good. Oh, Yuri is so good as Sasuke. And I went up to Yuri, I'm like, hey, people really like your work as Sasuke. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like the first 3 episodes or 3 or 4 episodes I appear in, like I don't say anything. I think at most go like, you know, like I just do that. How they haven't heard my voice and they're going crazy. I think it's weird. It's like I think they just like the character. But then, you know, his voice came out and everybody still loved it and he did a great job. But what I'm saying is like, if she doesn't talk, I wouldn't have seen it and I wouldn't have really understood the whole piece, so.
That's fine. No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, what's up?
My name is Edward.
I know. Bosco?
There you go. Not to be confused with Dante. But I actually had a question. So you keep talking about the scavenger hunt and people in the suits going.
Yes.
Are you able to talk about your contribution to the team and what you've had to do?
To scavenger?
Yeah.
The scavenger hunt?
Like have you participated in anything? Like have you organized a balloon fight or done anything crazy?
I spent all day collecting boogers and I failed at my quest. I don't know if we can officially talk about stuff like in official capacity, but like we've done a lot of crazy tasks. Now you have me nervous. Now I'm like, can I talk about it? I don't know if I can talk about it.
What about the one with the baseball jersey?
Oh, because you're just following are you following my Facebook or my Twitter?
No, because you were in my costume.
Oh, was I wearing your costume?
Yeah.
I didn't wear it.
Oh.
FYI.
Then you're lying to me.
I didn't.
Said you wore it.
No, here's the thing. That horse is really skittish. And so the horse just like, it will bolt. Actually, we had to hold a sign. And when I was holding the sign, the wind blew and it just did like, you know how like paper will flap, like it just flapped a little bit and the horse freaked out. It's like, and it just like ran. And it's a huge horse. So there was no way I was getting on that horse and having to do what the task was. But we got somebody on the horse and we accomplished the task. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
Okay, did anybody lose this in here?
Hey, you guys look over there.
This was found outside.
Can you describe it?
It's a 3DS case.
I know who it is. Yeah. So Chris. Who was the guy that was money looking for?
Oh. So maybe we should put it in Lost and Found. Okay, sorry.
Hi.
Carrie just texted me. She says, this water balloon fight thing is not going to happen. I've been inviting people all day, and they're just looking at me like I'm crazy. She's being skeptical, and I said, stay there until 6:15.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Brady.
Hi.
I've been a big fan of yours for a couple of years.
Hello.
And my first question is, the Fate Stay Night remake has been announced to air in the fall. I wanted to know your thoughts about that.
Is it airing on, what is it airing on? The channel, TV?
Yes.
Being released?
It's being released in the fall.
I don't know about the show. I just got some Twitter messages from people being mad at me saying that I wasn't voicing Ilya. And is that the one or is it a different one?
Yeah.
It's the one that was done in Texas, right? I think ADV did it, is that right?
No, I'm talking about there's making a Fate Stay Night remake. It was by the same company who did the Fate Zero version.
Oh, and then this is airing in Japan then in the fall?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. It's pretty cool. I don't know anything about the storyline and the plot. I will say this is like, well, even though I was happy to voice Ilya again, I missed voicing the evil, mischievous side of her, you know? So Fate Zero, she was more like sweet, cute little girl. And what I liked about her in the original series was the kind of sinister, because she looked cute, and then she would like send her attack berserker to kill them, and then laugh. So I don't know. I wish I knew more about it. Like, are you excited about it?
Oh yeah.
So okay, all right.
My second question is, since you've been in anime for so long, if you had the ability to create your own, what would it be about? And give a list of 5 voice actors you would absolutely have to have.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's so hard. 5 of them? Whoa, what? Now they're gonna play favorites, and people are gonna be like, "Why didn't you say me?" Wow. Okay. What would it be about? I would like to make. I would like to make a property into an anime series. Like manga gets turned into anime. I'd like to make the Laini Taylor novels. Do you guys know Daughter of Smoke and Bone, the series? You guys don't read. You just read pictures. You just read manga. But no, I think that would be a really cool thing to turn into anime. Who's the one girl who raised her hand? Wouldn't that be a cool anime? I will say this. The first book in the beginning I really liked, and then towards the end I didn't really like it. But then the second book gets really good. And then the third book is really, really good. So keep with it. I don't know who there's so many good people in it. Probably 5 people. Michael would have to be in it. Senator Nicholas, let's see, and Liam is really good. He would have to be in it. Roger Craig Smith is really good. He would have to be in it. Who else? I know. She has no problem with that. Who else? I'm trying to think. I really love. Do you know who Dana Snyder is? So we recently worked on a movie called A Letter to Momo. Have you heard of that? We dubbed it, and Dana Snyder's in it, and Fred Tatasciore. Do you know who he is? Yeah, they're both in it. They play goblins. They play these big demon goblins in it, and so those 2 guys would be in it. Yes, I cast all boys. It is. I would do. Yeah, the show would be opposite. No, that's Oran Huskos. It is boys already. I don't know. It'd be reverse harem anime. You know.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I just want to say that I loved you in K. You make a great. It's great. You seem like a really fun and quirky person. This is my first time really being in a Q&A with you.
Oh.
But earlier you said something about drawing an angel with
No. Yo, you got it all mixed up, man. I made a angel out of tampons and maxi pads.
Oh, that's right. What's the quirkiest thing that you can think of that you've done before in a hotel or wherever?
Well, you were here for the pillow fight story, right?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, well, at AFO last year, I announced in opening ceremonies, Saturday night, come to my hotel room at 1305 or whatever it was at the time, and we're gonna have a pillow fight, so bring your pillows at 10 p.m. And my handler was like, you just announced your hotel room? But everybody in the audience was like, she's totally joking. And then some people showed up, and then they invited their friends, and we totally had a pillow fight. It's 30 people. And then the next morning, they were like, man, did you go to the pillow fight? They're like, what? That was real? So that was kind of quirky. But, you know what happened? Okay, so this is something that I did. In college, all of my roommates were 1 year older than me. So I was still a 3rd year, and they were all 4th year, and they were all graduating. And I went to UCLA, and I don't know how it is with you guys if you're in college, but graduate and there's these big long ceremonies and you have to like get tickets for them, and they're like these big stadiums if your college has a lot of people, and you sit there and all the people do is like they come out and they parade out and they just like stand up for their college, because it's not like the small ceremony where you get handed your diploma. It's like the huge college letters of sciences or whatever. And so like I felt like I needed to go to their graduation because all of my roommates were from the same college, so to speak. They were all College of Letters and Sciences. And they were all walking, but it's like, then I had to like find a ticket. Like I would have to purchase a ticket and then sit in the heat with their parents who I don't know. And I was just like, it just doesn't sound fun, but I wanted to be part of their graduation. So then I decided, I don't know if it was my idea, my roommate's idea, I was like, I'm just gonna walk with you guys. They don't check ID or anything, right? So one of my roommate Jen, her best friend Heather was a year ahead of her. So she had her cap and gown from the previous year. So I borrowed her cap and gown, and when it came for them to graduate, I stood there and I got in line, and they wouldn't check the IDs. They're all just, a bunch, like hundreds of kids, whatever, college students, just like waiting there. And then when we were waiting, one of my roommates, Jenny Wee, she got into University of San Francisco for medical school, and that's a really, really good medical school. It's like one of the top in the nation. And there was this other girl that was standing there, like just bragging about going to University of San Francisco. Like, she was like, so Jenny became, she was like, oh, look at that girl. And I was like, what? She's like, because she's going to University of San Francisco. And she's like bragging about it. I'm like, but you're going there. It's a good school, right? She's like, yeah, it's a good school, but I wouldn't be like, tell people about it all the time, like bragging about it. And we went and kind of like listened and eavesdropped, and she was totally doing that. She was like, oh, where are you going? Oh, well, I'm going here, like, and like making people feel bad. So Jenny Wee goes, hey, Steph, why don't you go there and tell her you're going to Harvard? And I was like, and I'm thinking, I don't know this person, and I'm not, I'm not even really graduating. So I go up to her and I like kind of near her, and then I just kind of like bump into her, like on accident, but on purpose, like, oops. Oh, and I bump it up like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, oh, it's okay. And I was like, oh, did I hear that you're going to University of San Francisco for med school? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, congratulations. And she's like, oh, are you going there too? And I was, no, I'm going to Harvard. And then she just shut up. So that was a pretty crazy thing.
You are an inspiration. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello. It's been a while since you played this role, so I don't know how much you remember, but can you talk about your experience playing Natalia from Tales of the Abyss?
Yeah, Wendy Lee directed that, and it was a lot of fun. The things that I remember the most, actually, to be honest, a lot of girls, not so many boys, but a lot of girls really love that character. Like, crazy love that character. And I didn't really get it. Well, I mean, I didn't, it was one of those scripts where it wasn't sorted. I mean, it was in order, so it wasn't just my line, so I could see what I was reacting to, whatever. But she seemed like such a brat. And then I guess she redeems herself. But because of the way it is, like when you're recording it, you're only kind of like recording the lines. You don't really, and it's only yourself. You don't really get to experience her transformation as a character. So I just remember being a brat most of the time, because most of her lines, she was like really bitchy, And so people would be like, oh my God, it's my favorite character. I'd be like, oh. And I'd be like, oh, she must not be a nice person. Like, that's what I was thinking in my mind. And then I had it explained to me, and then I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So I remember that, and then I also remember, the thing that I really remember is that there's a few lines where she says her name, and her name is really effing long. It's Natalia Natalia Kimlaska Landveldier, right?
I think there's a Luzu in there.
Yeah, there's four. Natalia Kimlaska, maybe Luzu Landveldier. Anyways, and I would have to like say it like really like fast and like kind of like snooty, and I just couldn't get it. I said that I don't know if you had to say that name more than once for a full name. Like, she was pretty like snooty and cocky that she couldn't just say parts of her name. She had to say the whole freaking thing. And it took like many takes. Because I couldn't say the hardest one was the Landveldier. It doesn't really like run off your tongue well. But yeah, that's what I remember for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
Hi, Kayla.
I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
I always wanted to be like a voice actor like you. I mean, I started since I was 6th grade and now I'm going to 8th grade. And my question is, do you have any tips to help with voice acting?
So you want to be a voice actor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the thing that people don't really get about voice acting. Well, okay, let me ask you this. Do you want to be a voice actor because you love anime and you want specifically to work in anime, or you just like voices and sounds and you want to do all types of voiceovers, commercials, industrials, promos?
Ever since I learned anime, I got really inspired to do voice acting, but I just don't want to do it with just anime. I want to do it with other kind of stuff, like cartoons or other such.
So you want to do animation and character work regardless. That's good. Because sometimes people come up to me and say that they just want to be a voice actor for anime, in which case I would say, that's not a great choice. Because it doesn't pay very well. I'm sure that you'll be like, oh, it pays more than working at Starbucks or at McDonald's or whatever. But I guess this is how do I break it down for you? Math. Are you guys good at math? Kind of, yeah, math. Go math. Okay, so it's about, what? Who? Cosby Show, like, so it's, let's see. Okay, for example, Usagi. She talks a lot, right? She probably talks way more than any other character, even though she's a lead. Other lead characters in other shows don't talk as much as Usagi talks, right? So Usagi has about an average of just over 100 lines an episode, okay? Which seems like a lot. But a professional voice actor can record anywhere from 30 to 50 lines an hour, okay? So let's say you're really good. Let's say you're one of those 50 lines an hour people, right? How long would it take you to record one episode if it's about 100 lines average?
2 hours.
2 hours, right? How many episodes are there in a season?
26.
Yeah, 13 or 26, depending, right? So how many episodes can you record? Like, how many days? How much work is that? You know? Say again?
5 days, 10 hours, I think.
So like, let's say you have 4 hours. Let's just say you're not going to work more than 4 hours a day, right? So that would be like 2 episodes. So you could do 2 episodes a day, right? 5 days a week, 10 episodes. So in about 2.5 weeks, you'll be done with a season, a year of episodes. And all you've done is 2.5 weeks of work, right? And you probably, depending on where you live, you make about $65 an hour, you know, after taxes, or you're making about, like, you're making like, let's say about $250 a day. It's not a lot of money. And that's if you have a lead role like that. So you're gonna have to have a lot of roles. Do you know what I mean? And then you have to keep in account if it's vocally stressful. That I'm just talking about anime. If you're doing video games, you get paid more. If you're doing original animation, you get paid more. But those jobs can sometimes be harder to come by. So I guess what I'm giving you is a reality check, right? So in terms of what I can say about a budding, aspiring voice actor is this. Always be professional. Always work on your craft and yourself and study. Take anything. classes, workshops, experience, ask people with experience, practice your craft, and figure out a way to make money until you're able to make money only from acting. But like any job, like if you're gonna be a lawyer or a doctor or anything else, you have to work at it, and you have to be professional, be respectful. You wanna be, no matter how talented you are, if you're an a-hole, people are not gonna wanna hire you again. And you laugh right now, but I've seen many actors have their career go because they were an a-hole. People just didn't wanna hire them anymore because they were difficult to work with. Or because, I was working with a director and I had suggested a friend of mine and she said, I can't hire her anymore because she never comes on time. She comes 30, 45 minutes late. I just can't hire her anymore. I can't deal. And she's like, and I'm sad about it because she's a very nice person and she's a great actress, but I just can't hire her anymore. So there's, take any classes you can, any experience you can, whether you're doing theater, whether you're doing improv, whether you're doing cold reading classes, on-camera classes, any sort of singing classes are great, anything to do with the voice, diction classes, all of those things. Get it wherever you can. Get the experience as an actor and just approach it from being an actor, but approach it from that you're working at this. You love what you do, so you have to love working at it.
Okay, thank you for those tips. And my second question is, I am so big on Naruto shipping, and I'm wondering who do you think that Naruto will be with at the end of the season? Do you think he will be with Hinata?
I think it's going to be with Hinata. Who else would it be with? You know what, that's I understand in other shows, it's Orihime or Rukia, or is Orihime going to be with Uryu? Or I can understand where there's some, I can see the relation build, but it's just a no-brainer. Come on now.
Now, the biggest rumor I ever heard was with the shipping of Naruto, they say that the author, Kishimoto, saying that Naruto is going to be a children eye because he likes Sasunaru. So that's the thing is.
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Justin. You may remember me from AFO, I think, about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I have two questions actually. One is how state of the anime industry by so far, considering how there's been improvements and stuff like that.
Sorry, can you ask me one more
The
time?
state of the industry and how it's been.
Oh,
improving.
state of the industry.
Yeah, I kind of spit that too fast. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I feel like it's kind of settling. I don't know that it's improving so much as I think that there's a new normal. Now the distributors and whatnot, they don't have as high of expectations. But then again, not as much stuff comes out. Stuff is coming out, but they're finding a different way around it.
Maybe lower budgets and such?
Yeah, definitely. There's lower budgets. They expect you to get things done faster, but people aren't freaking out, but it's kind of like a new normal, I guess, in the industry.
Yeah. And the second question is, what was your favorite bit part you did what was your favorite bit part you did in an anime?
You say bit part?
Yeah, minor role or, something that was memorable to you in your opinion.
I don't know. I actually don't. I don't know, actually. I don't know.
Oh, sorry about that. And my first question is, how's Michael been by so far in terms of work and such?
He's good. He's good. He's in LA doing stuff for Scavenger Hunt. So.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
2 minutes?
Hello.
Okay, well, I'm going to be fast. Okay, let's go.
All right. Hello, my name is Charlie. I'm a big fan of your work. I just wanted to ask you, what was it like working on the set of Haruhi Suzumiya?
I love that you call it a set. It was just a booth, but it was awesome. I really had a lot of fun. My favorite thing was episode 00, where they got to pretend to be acting really badly. I know that in other characters I've done, I've made squeaky high-pitched noises, but I think Mikuru takes the cake. She has the most squeaky high-pitched noises out of all the characters that I've ever voiced.
All right. And the final question I have is, since they're doing a remake of Sengoku Basara, if Funimation has the rights to it, which I'm sure they have,
Uh-huh.
will you be reprising the role of Kasuga?
If they ask me, I definitely will, because it's one of my most fun characters. Because I never get to play the sexy girl. I usually like the cute, innocent one, or the really bratty one, so definitely.
All right, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Hey, what's up?
Hi, my name is Luis Herboso. I've seen the show called Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
And your boys, Julie,
do the thing.
Yes, Julie, bring me a coffee.
Yes, I know.
The character always doesn't say anything when the boss calls her, when he helps our heroes. Well, until one episode when she was hiding with his boss in a stuffed animal.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
You know what is really funny, because when I recorded it, they had to describe it to me, and I was like, no, you're in this platypus, and then you're inside the thing with it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, but is it like really big? Like, I think I did a few like really called out takes, because I didn't know like how cavernous the platypus is.
Oh, you're in the group, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I love your role in Sailor Moon, yes.
Thank
You're
you.
really good, man. You're really a legend.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Lee. First of all, congratulations on Sailor Moon. I'm a big fan. But my question will involve a totally different series. What was it like working on K-On! Since no one's brought that up yet.
Oh my God, K-On! Is like one of the most funnest things that I did, mostly because we got to sing. And during the year that we were doing K-On!, Christina, Cassandra, Shelby, and I went around to conventions and we gave concerts. And we had rehearsals and we had to learn all of those songs phonetically in Japanese and then I had to pretend to play guitar. And we sang concerts, and it was really, really fun. It was really fun because it reminded me, like, in college I was kind of a fangirl, you know, I was an otaku and I loved anime, and I would go karaoke and I would write out song lyrics phonetically, you know, and I don't know what they mean, but I feel like I had practice. And Christina is like the same way. So Christina and I did a pretty good job, and then the other girls, they did great because they don't have that practice, you know, but we're like, oh, it made me feel like, you know, I was 21 again.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Erica.
Hi.
You worked on Devil May Cry for us, KDA?
Yes.
What was that?
I did not sing though. This girl who sang was awesome, and I feel embarrassed that I didn't sing it. That was really fun, actually. It took it was a very short session, and I actually don't know if it was weird. I went in and I feel like I went in and did some incidentals, and then they said, oh, we have this other character, and then they gave me Kyrie, but then that ended up being the lead, so then I was really confused. So maybe, I don't know if maybe they hadn't decided, so they were trying a lot of people or whatever, but it was my first time working on a show where the acting was so muted and quiet and kind of like subtle, you know, which was nice. I had a really lovely time. Thank you. Thanks.
Hello, Stephanie.
Hello.
I just wanted to say that. Anyway, I would like to say I'm a fan of yours. I like in Bleach, Odahime, the voice you do for Odahime. But that's pretty awesome. Well, I wanted to ask you, you must have at least talked to Johnny and Bosch or gotten a chance to speak to him at least once, maybe. I know you guys are not in the same room when you record, but you've seen him maybe heading into the studio one time or something like that.
You know what? I haven't seen Johnny in a really, 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 really long time. I love Johnny to death. He is so great. He's a wonderful person, and he's really goofy, and we have a great time. And for a while, we were doing the same conventions. So it was like really fun because we joke around, and we get the same type of humor, and you know, he's so talented, and yet he's so like respectful, but I just haven't seen him in a really long time, so I kind of miss him, but I haven't seen him in a really, really long time. I'm not even run into him, and I feel like a crappy friend because I haven't met his daughter yet, you know. Well, he lives kind of far. He lives far away from me, but yeah.
Well, you're awesome, and thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, are you just the end of the line, or do you have a question?
I know you don't know a lot about Sailor Moon, but could you do a request?
I don't know if I can or not because the dub hasn't been officially released. But what's the request?
Could you say like moon cosmic power makeup?
I have not said that yet, so I don't believe I can say that. Wait, what's the difference between prism power and cosmic power? It's just 2 seasons later. It's just like the upgraded version. She's like transformed. It's like Raichu. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. If you see Carrie or I running around trying to, sorry, I got distracted. Trying to ask you to do things like, hey, be a table, please oblige. I promise I won't ask for any more boogers because it wasn't working out anyway. But have a great rest of the convention. Wait, let me just read off some stuff real quick. Here's my schedule. Okay, what's going on? Tomorrow, there is at 9 a.m. the Sailor Moon photo shoot world record attempt. So if you guys have your cosplay stuff, or if you just want to watch a lot of girls in some Sailor Fukus, then show up at 9. That's at the Convention Center 300 level terrace. Then at 10:15, Viz Animation featuring Neon Alley. At 12 p.m. is the Sailor Moon premiere and panel, Video Room 1, which is Hall A. And then at 4:30, there's autographs. And then at 6:30, Sailor Moon Crystal, episode 1 and 2. It's subtitled, but it's still, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. Video Room 3. And at 10 p.m., Voice Actors After Dark. And if you see me running around, just, stop by, say hey. You guys were really awesome. Thank you.